These are 5 of the things that I pack in my birth bag or give to my clients for a birth. These 2 essential oils are 2 that I always keep in my birth bag. This one is a Bulgarian lavender, and I prefer it over most lavenders because it's a little more earthy of a smell. Lavender can be put directly on the skin neat, but I tend not to do that at births. This one is clary sage. This is a French clary sage. I love both of these, and I love them in combination. The reason I bring both of these in my birth bag is because clary sage can be used to help promote a stronger, longer contractions or a more regular contraction pattern, and lavender is deeply relaxing. However, it's really important that you communicate with the colleagues that you're going to be working with, the midwives, nurses, doctors, and especially your clients. There are 2 birth professionals that I work with frequently that I won't use lavender when I'm working with them because they're especially sensitive to lavender in the air, and some hospitals would actually not allow you to use essential oils at all. When I use essential oils at birth, I will either place them on a disposable cotton pad or tissue, something that I can throw in the garbage in a waste basket that's out of the room. Should contractions start to get really strong and intense, we don't need clary sage anymore, so I want to remove it from the environment. But the way that I usually actually use these 2 is with reflexology. So I will put a drop of each in a little bit of olive oil that I'm applying to the feet. And I use these 2 with my reflexology sessions with my fertility clients or those clients that are near the end of their pregnancy. I can use lavender throughout pregnancy, and I avoid using clary sage unless somebody is at term. This is a Himalayan salt-filled healing pillow for moist, heat, or cold application. I use this for the heat. I'll just show you here. It's a nice cotton sack filled with Himalayan salt. It's a nice size, it's easy to carry, it's not too heavy. For warm, moist heat, it says you can microwave it, select medium setting, heat for 1 minute. If higher temperature is preferred, microwave in 30-second increments, or you can warm it in the oven. All hospitals I've ever worked at have a microwave, so this is really handy to have. It's especially nice in the lower abdomen during labor for comfort. It's something that I can quickly go and reheat because it only takes a minute to warm it up. And some people enjoy it on their sacrum, depending on where they feel discomfort. And I will often give this to my clients after the birth. They can keep it, and I will give a new one to future clients. This is a cooling wrap. Previously, I think every birth I'm putting cold cloths on my clients' foreheads, or so they can, wipe their upper lip or their neck. The back of their neck is especially nice, but I like this wrap instead of using cold washcloths now because this multi-style cooling wrap, it's actually intended for sports. The images on the package include somebody doing yoga, people hiking, playing tennis, soccer, riding a bike, that kind of thing. My last client really loved this because it was already familiar to her because she wore it while tree planting. So it's instant cooling relief, lasts up to 5 hours, soft and lightweight. The reason that this works better than a cold washcloth at birth is because it's shaped like a loop, so it stays on. So wherever a person wants to put it, they can loop it on and it's not going anywhere. So if they want the cooling on their forehead, it's gonna stay. And what you do is you run it under cold water, wring it out, and there's some kind of technology involved with this wrap that makes it stay colder. So that's really handy. And you also don't have to wrap it on. You can use it the same way you would use a washcloth. And this is really good around that 7 centimeter mark when they start getting the sweaty upper lip. The rest of birth tends to be very hot for birthing people. And so it says it stays cool for up to 5 hours. I will refresh it you know, every hour because I can, but it's actually not necessary because these do work. And I always leave that with my clients as well and give a new one to future clients. This says, let there be sleep. It's an eye mask with earplugs. I like this one because it's really light and thin. And this might not be something you would think to take to a birth, but I really love the idea of the eye shade for hospital births because, you know, the hospital might be the safest place for some clients to give birth, or it might be their preferred location, or maybe they don't have a choice. It's especially good for those clients who took hypnobirthing classes or who wanted a home birth, but it wasn't a good option for them, because they can remove or eliminate the environmental elements at a hospital that maybe aren't helpful for labor progress. So the things in the birth environment that don't necessarily help the hormonal process of birth include strangers, people that they don't know, coming and going, people setting up equipment, the equipment itself, some of the posters on the wall about life-saving, you know, steps and procedures that hospitals, you know, need to have on the wall, but maybe clients don't need to see, you know, how to lower the bed if somebody was in cardiac arrest or something like that. And this particular eye shade also comes with earplugs, but some people might use the earplugs. You can avoid the sounds of the beeps and the machines and the people, and people giving birth in other rooms. But I actually like the idea of having ear pods in, or earbuds, so that clients can listen to a hypnobirthing track, or they can listen to their own relaxing music. And this is great for when I'm doing Reiki on my clients during birth too, so that they can kind of, they can just go into their own internal space, have the relaxing music on, my hands are on, they feel the heat of the Reiki, and you know, I've had clients wear the eye shade for hours at a time. Every once in a while they might peek a little bit to kind of reassess who's there and how everybody else is doing, and then they disappear again into their eye shade. So I really like that because it can help eliminate that environmental factor that can make birth more challenging. So these are some of my favorite things, and I love to give them as gifts to my clients. I incorporate them in my doula fee. So there's the eye shade, the cooling cloth, and the heating pad are things I specifically give them that they can then reuse however they like. And then I always keep the clary sage and the Bulgarian lavender in my birth bag for my reflexology sessions with them, or for aromatherapy use in the room.